Right, so today we're going to be breaking down Jordan Welch's $596,000 per month sales funnel. I'm not going to try to sound smart here by using any kind of fancy words or anything like that. I'm just going to give you the exact value you came to this video for, which is to know exactly how he gets traffic, nurtures that traffic, and then converts that traffic into paying customers in as few steps as physically possible. Without any further ado, I don't want to waste any of your time, so let's just get straight into the funnel breakdown. Now, we're going to start off with breaking down Jordan Welch's actual TikTok, and he's pretty new on TikTok, so he's a very small TikTok at about 50,000 followers, relatively small, obviously, to his other accounts. He's not really gotten huge traction on there. Every once in a while, a video will explode to 170K views, obviously up to even 500K, up to even 1 million sometimes. He has no pinned post, which is obviously one of the small mistakes I see. Pinned posts will get people to know your brand as fast as physically possible without any friction from having to look through all of your videos. And so you can get them to see your best videos right away as fast as physically possible the moment that they actually touch your profile. So as you can see, the same type of content he makes every single video. It's just super raw and authentic. Just took out my phone, selfie cam videos, reacting to comments videos, and then also these caption videos with literally just like my best investment or what I spent 600 grand on. And sometimes there'll be these meme videos. It's the same kind of stuff that he films where it's super raw and authentic and telling people about his life, getting them to know him a little bit more. And these types of content are super raw and authentic. Again, the signature style that he does with the rubbing of the left eye, he does this on almost every singular video. Every once in a while, these videos will be educational, but most of them are going to be reacting to comments or just being funny videos overall. But obviously, sometimes there'll be very educational videos like this one and also this one that are actually going to be giving value to the actual audience. Now, as you can see in the bio for the TikTok, we just got build a free store and win 100K. This is the same exact bio he's going to use for every single social media. And it's going to link to www.aicom.co. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. I've actually built out an absolutely sauced out funnel for you guys here. It has literally everything. We're going to be breaking down his entire funnel with AI commerce and how he's actually making money off of this and how his funnel is actually getting all of this huge audience to move into that singular domain, right? So as you can see on the Instagram, 333,000 followers, Jordan Welch, artist, inspire the world. That is his personal quote. And then obviously linked to AICom. In the actual story highlights, you'll see YouTube coaching, chapter 5, chapter 4, chapter 3. Now, what he likes to do is that he likes to move his life in chapters. He literally will have screenshots of basically progress updates for his life, what he's been doing, what he's been up to, what his new mantras are, everything like that. Usually just screenshots from his daily life, lifestyle videos, lifestyle photos. Really, really good for authority building. Also really good for humanity building and getting them to, getting the audience to know Jordan way better personally. You're going to see the same exact trend for Instagram on every single account. The videos average views are way higher than the TikTok, even if the TikTok's following size and everything is even bigger, just because TikTok's main goal is just to get traffic and get more cold traffic into the funnel and get more cold leads into the funnel so that you can funnel them into the other social medias. And there they will be nurtured, because TikTok is absolutely horrendous for nurturing because it will nearly never reach your current audience. An example of this is the fact that every single video that Jordan is posting, although he has such a huge following at 50K followers, he is only getting 3,000 views every single video. And sometimes he'll even go down to 1,700. This is because TikTok's algorithm is arranged kind of like an upside down pyramid. Firstly, they're going to push it to your closest audience, your most devoted followers. Now, if those people do not give them the metrics that they want, for example, 3-second retention time on average, or not enough of your followers watch that video, then they're going to flop your video right there. And that's what happens with most of these videos right here. Then they're going to move it to even more followers. Now, these are the colder followers that just recently joined. Again, they see those metrics, they see if these followers like it. If not, you get dropped. And that is more around the 14K mark right here, like in this video. Next is the level where you breach 100K. This is where you're actually hitting brand new audiences, more brand new audiences than your existing following, but you're still hitting about 50-50 or maybe a 60-40 split. Your new traffic right here, and then your following are going to be literally like 40%. This is a very conservative estimate. In my own estimate, it's more like an 80-20, where literally it's 20% of the actual video's views are your following, and then the rest is just cold brand new traffic. That's the one that's more likely for most people, but in the info space, you just know that most of the time it's going to be 80% traffic to 20% warm following. And so it's going to keep going in this upside down pyramid, up and up and up, until you just keep reaching these new and new people. That's how these insanely popular TikToks are going through the algorithm and getting pushed so far because they keep on breaching each level of the pyramid. And this pyramid keeps going very, very far, up until hundreds of millions of views, billions of views. The algorithm keeps repeating this with colder and colder and colder audiences until you hit a snag and your content is not good enough to push any further. And that's where every single video will stop. The more views you get, the more of those views are just pure traffic. Now, on the next stage, which is around 1 million, it's going to be mostly just like maybe 10-15% you're following, and then the rest will be just entirely fully traffic. It's obviously going to depend on how big your following is. If you have a big following, it's going to be a higher percentage. If you have a smaller following, it's going to be a lower percentage. For Jordan, it would be maybe around 5% of people that are in his following, and then the rest would be cold traffic that are seeing his 1 million view plus videos. And that's kind of the way TikTok works. And that's why it's so horrendous for nurturing, because it will never reach your current audience. But Instagram kind of works in an inverse to that. Every single video, no matter what, it will push it to your audience. Every single video, if it's on par with the quality of your rest, which it's very easy to do for these super raw and authentic videos, it will always push it to your audience no matter what. So your audience will always see your videos come up on their feed once they follow you. But that comes with a cost of having less ability to reach more people. Now, I'm not saying Instagram is bad for traffic. By no means am I saying that, because Instagram is an extremely good platform for getting traffic, just because its nature of being a short form platform. But it's just way, way better than TikTok at nurturing. So that's why Instagram funnels can actually work so well, because this is like the middle ground platform where it's really good at conversions, it's okay at nurturing, and it's pretty good at actually getting traffic. So it's an all-rounder, whereas TikTok is completely specced into just getting more traffic with no nurturing. That's why the best strategy for posting on TikTok and Instagram is just to first post on the TikTok, test if a video does well. If it does remotely well, repost it on Instagram, and it's going to get 10-20 times the views, depending on how many views it got on TikTok. If it goes viral, obviously it's not going to be that much. But if it goes, obviously, like maybe 100K views, you're going to get 500, 700K views just off of that video being reposted onto your Instagram. And that's just the power of using both of these platforms in tandem. And that's why these Instagram only funnels are so powerful. And I did cover the fact that Instagram is good for conversions, and that's because of the messaging feature. Instagram messages are the basic way that everybody communicates, at least a lot of the young people. So if you're going for a young audience, Instagram is your haven for conversions, because it's the best place where you can reach them the absolute fastest. And also, it's the easiest to basically have a sales call in the DMs with them to sell them before they even hop on a call with you. That's why DM setting is so powerful in these funnels. Now, for the content on the Instagram, it's actually completely different for Jordan Welch. He's actually just covering the journey of taking a follower from broke to rich. He was doing this on the TikTok as well, but he has stopped posting on the Instagram for about 3 or 4 weeks ever since that specific series ended. And I'm not sure why he's not reposting off of the TikTok. It does not make any sense, and he should really resume reposting off of the TikTok, because if he could start reposting off of the TikTok into his Instagram, this could result in him getting way more traction with just these exact same videos. Literally just reposting the same videos that do well. That's what the big dogs in the space are doing right now to be growing absolutely exponentially. And so obviously the short form platforms are getting traffic, they're good for conversions, but at this point, I've been talking about nurturing quite a bit. And nurturing is just basically getting people to see your face as much as physically possible for as long as physically possible. And now the hands down GOAT for nurturing, the absolute best social media for nurturing, is hands down the YouTube. On YouTube, Jordan is huge. He has 1.86 million subscribers. And again, he's linking to the Instagram. Now you can see that the AI comm is not where he's linking to on the YouTube. That is again because Instagram is best for conversions. The way that this funnel is going to work is that he's going to move you from the TikTok into the Instagram. You will be nurtured slightly in Instagram, and then you will check out the YouTube. Or even if you don't, you will check out the AI comm challenge. But we're going to go ahead and go for the more likely option, which is that you saw his YouTube and then went to his Instagram. The reason this is so powerful is because when you see his YouTube, as you can see, his 35-minute videos, 23-minute videos, 13-minute videos, 10-minute videos, even these shorter videos at like 10, 15 minutes, they are very huge for nurturing. And this all comes back to something I like to call the 7-11-4 rule. Now, the 7-11-4 rule is extremely interesting because there was actually a study done on this by Google that stated your prospects need to consume 7 hours of your content across 11 different touch points, across 4 different locations on average to buy a high ticket offer from you. Now, the reason this is so important is because YouTube is the best way to consume those 7 hours of content. Because if you have just 30-minute long videos constantly being uploaded onto YouTube, people can just watch about 14 videos and they'll be done with the 7 hours of content. 14 videos will again also finish up the 11 different touch points. The best yardstick that you can use for this is actually the longer the video on YouTube, the better, as long as you can fit a ton of value into it. Now, Nero Knowledge, a recent funnel breakdown I did on him, he did this extremely well, and he probably has the greatest nurturing funnel out of every single info creator right now, hands down. Not TGR, not Brez. He has the best nurturing funnel. But both of those funnel breakdowns I made up here so you can decide for yourself after you check those out. And so basically the 7 hours of content obviously just means 7 hours of content consumed. That's going to be done very easily through the YouTube by about 14 videos of about 30 minutes long. That's the sweet spot for most people because they can squeeze in a ton of nurturing into a video, but they can also give away an absolute metric ton of value along with that. So it's actually worth for people to watch. The second point is these 11 different touch points. Now, 11 different touch points is just different videos, reels, or whatever. The best way to fulfill the touch points parameter is actually not the YouTube. The best way to fulfill this is the short form content. Now, this is how these Instagram-only funnels work so well. And you might have seen my funnel breakdowns on Shelby Sapp and Samuel Millsap. They crush at these. And the reason is because, as I said, Instagram is really good for nurturing in terms of touch points. Not very good for getting them to consume a ton of your content, but it's very good for touch points. So you can get them to watch 11 different reels in a singular day sometimes, which by getting them to watch these 11 different reels in a single day and getting them to consume way more touch points, you're actually lowering the cost that you need for hours of content consumed. So for example, this is not linear, it's very exponential, but for example, if somebody consumed 50 of your touch points on 50 of your reels, maybe, they might have only watched 2 or 3 hours of your content maximum, but the thing is, they still will convert, and they're very likely to convert because of the fact that they had so many touch points that they consumed, that they saw your face so many times across a very long period of time. So that can have the effect of making an illusion and making them think that they actually spent more time with you when they actually didn't. But obviously, YouTube is the GOAT for nurturing, and that's why it's going to be the best for a very long time. Now, the 4 different locations parameter literally just means different social medias, emails, newsletters, whatever, wherever you can get them to see your content, get them to see your face, like different places where you get them to see your face across platforms. That's why cross-platforms ads work really well. It's because when you see somebody's face across platforms multiple times, you constantly get reminded about them and you keep thinking about them in the back of your head, which will result in you thinking that the thing that they're selling works better than it actually does just because you've seen them so many times. And it kind of works the same as the touch points parameter, where the more locations you have, the lower the amount of time you need them to consume. Obviously, all of this is very variable and is very dependent on each other. And it's a whole nother can of worms to dissect the 7-11-4 rule, but that's basically the gist of it in a quick little 2-minute segment. Now, for the actual content that he makes, he recently just posted a lifestyle content video, which I'm assuming that he's going to start doing more of. This is going to build a ton of authority because how else would he be able to afford these cars, these $350,000 weeks, if he did not make money off of dropshipping? Also, it gives you an avenue to drop a ton of sauce on these videos, which a lot of people mess up on. These lifestyle videos are not just for lifestyle. You need to drop a little bit of sauce. You need to drop a little bit of actual value in between the video so they feel like they get dopamine from that, feeling like they're actually learning something, even though they actually aren't. So you want to drop in a few nuggets of value. You want to drop in a few pieces of sauce in between your lifestyle videos because those are just going to make it more engaging and more likely that people actually watch through the entire lifestyle video. The second type of video that he's making is a ton of middle of funnel and bottom of funnel type of content, which is just how to make money with AI. If I wanted to become a millionaire by 2026 is what I do. Just a ton of videos on how to make money online that is going to be funneling people into starting dropshipping, which is obviously going to get them to buy AI comm and obviously get into Jordan's entire sales funnel. And so it's pretty basic content. I really liked the series that he did with the Millionaire House of Stranger Get Rich This was a huge series. The reason was because it got him a ton of publicity, even though the views aren't crazy. The views on Instagram and TikTok, those went absolutely insane, which got him a ton of good press. And it also built a ton of social proof, because now he can pin it everywhere and show that, hey, I helped this random kid make $12,000 in his first month, or $20,000 in his first month running dropshipping stores. And so it also builds a ton of relatability for people to actually believe that they can do it themselves. Now, before we get into breaking down the actual website, there's one last social media that we need to quickly break down. That's the X. I'm going to go over this in a quick 30-second speedrun. So 61K followers. As you can see, he's doing a few reposts of a ton of motivational stuff. As you can see, Milan posted about him and he reposted that. GTA 7, he reposts a ton of stuff off WAP and these ads off of WAP. This was actually an ad actually specifically for WAP. And then he's also going to have a ton of mindset / motivational tweets. Business is the only sport you can play for a lifetime. The only way to see who really wins is who lasts the longest. And so he can make these super raw and authentic tweets to build a ton of relatability, build a ton of humanization, and get people to relate to him, and also get people to like him and nurture them way more, because X is a really good platform for conversions as well, even better than Instagram, but obviously it's not as good for getting new people to see your content. You'll also see a few ads for actual hiring and YouTube editing and whatever, so you can actually use X really, really well for running ads for people you need to find, to hire, like an editor, like maybe a thumbnail designer, whatever it could be. X is a really good place for that. And obviously just lifestyle updates as well sometimes by Jordan. And so that's a pretty basic overview of what his X does. And that's literally what every single top dog in the space is doing on their X: lifestyle plus motivation plus insights, and then also promoting their personal business model. So for him, it would be dropshipping. Now, from every single social media, he's actually funneling everybody into the AI comm, except for YouTube. Obviously, he wants people to go from the YouTube to the Instagram and then go into AI comm. So we're going to go ahead and funnel everybody into AI comm. Get your AI comm store up and ready to make sales in 7 days and enter the race to 100 grand. This is a really interesting funnel because he's not actually selling a course per se. He's not selling a community. He's not selling a coaching program. What he is selling is a race to 100K for dropshipping. I'll explain this in a little bit after we go ahead and break down this page. So plug into the step-by-step blueprint that's taken 1,244 plus procrastinators, a little bit of social proof, from stuck to 3K a day, even if your schedule is packed and you have zero experience. Pretty simple title, avoiding the pain points. A lot of people have those excuses. And then also weekly crash prizes up to 3 grand. Another offer statement, obviously very simple. You make 3 grand a month, join the race for free, might as well, you know? Then you also have a actually real timer down here that is going to be counting down the days before the actual AI comm launches. And it's actually sponsored by WAP and AutoDS. Now, as you can see, AutoDS is actually the owner of the AI store builder that a lot of you might have seen on these dropshipping gurus funnels recently. Nathan Nazareth actually uses this exact technique, and I might make another funnel breakdown on him. If you guys want me to do that, just leave that down in the comments. But Nathan Nazareth does that extremely, extremely well, where he is using the AI dropshipping as a lead magnet. But the thing is, AutoDS, this is actually a supplier for dropshipping. If you've been in the space before, this is like the biggest supplier. You get a ton of products from them, you get product photos, everything. They supply everything for you, and they're an extremely huge player in the Shopify dropshipping e-com space, right? So they're actually sponsoring this specific event, and WAP has as well. That's why he has this ad for WAP right here. Now I'll get into his monetization strategy for this in a second. Crucial to win the $100,000 prize. Module 0, lock in and launch. So basically, this is just going to make everything you need to do sound extremely cool and complicated, even though it's very basic stuff. All he's saying is that he's going to send you a video that's going to reset your brain. Also give you a lock-in protocol, which is just get to work. And also a grand prize checklist, which is very basic. It's just like how to make money on dropshipping. It's probably some PDF that he sends them. After that, he's going to give you a ton of these course modules. All of these are course modules explaining exactly how to do everything within dropshipping. At the same time, he's going to then say that you're going to get weekly prizes and a grand prize. And the thing is that you're going to get $100,000 of a cash prize and weekly $1,500 cashes, as well as VIP discounts. So these are all a kind of giveaway type thing where he's running a giveaway info funnel. In the bottom of the page, you'll see a Gmail cutout. This is super raw and authentic, and I love the way that he's structured this. Instead of having just average copy, he's actually sent you an email on the website. So instead of having you look at your email and check it out, he's actually put it on the website. So if you're interested in reading this, go ahead and check out the website. But basically, it's a very simple email that's literally just building a ton of urgency, saying that AI is coming in and you need to start taking advantage of AI. It's kind of like a mini sales call, if you guys know about that. It even has binaries, binary choices, everything. It's like a mini sales call within an email, which I really, really love. This is actually a really good alternative to doing sales calls. So if you want to do a funnel where you literally just present the price on top, you can do something like this and it will work really, really well. After that, CTA, a lot of people miss this. Keep adding CTAs after every single element that is actually getting them convinced to buy, because even that small amount of friction of moving all the way down here can reduce maybe 0.05% of people from actually buying. And that's 0.05% of people actually does matter in terms of when your conversion rates themselves are at like 5-10%, right? That 0.5% is actually going to matter. Right down here, who is Jordan Welch? His whole entire story, getting people to relate to him. And the reason he's not saying this at the first time is because he wants you to relate to him first. Then you're going to go easy on him, drop shoulders a little bit. After that, he's going to hit you with a ton of social proof, like a 1-2 punch. Think of it kind of like boxing. That's kind of what sales is. You need to get them to drop your guard right there. After that, you need to hit them with the punch, which is a ton of social proof, after which you need to add a reason for why you're actually doing this. And then at the end, you're going to give your lofty claim, which is 100K cash. And that's the only time it's going to be actually believable. So you got to get them to drop their shoulders, punch them, get them to drop their shoulders again, and then punch them even harder with the right hook right down here with the actual offer, which is then when they're going to get properly knocked out and actually get them to buy your offer. Now, after they click on this button, you're going to get redirected right here, asking for your name and your email. After this, you're going to get redirected to an actual VSL. Now, this is when you're going to get the VSL. I love this kind of funnel because he gets your qualified email address first and then lets you watch the VSL without even using Brez's free training strategy, which is a really interesting spin-off of that. If you guys want me to make a video on a VSL type like this or a funnel type like this, go ahead and drop a comment below and I might actually make a video all about it. After you actually watch this VSL, he's going to redirect you over to here. Now, this is where you're going to get redirected to the Build Your Store AI. This is the exact thing that all of these dropshipping gurus are using right now. Nathan Nazareth, Sebastian Georgiou, Jordan Welch, all of them are using this exact thing. But what Jordan has done is that he has secured a bag, first of all, by being sponsored by them. Secondly, he's also going to get a ton of affiliate commissions. That's the main way he's actually monetizing with this. Now, you're going to give your full name, email, and password. Now, the earlier email and password was actually just for Jordan. This was actually specifically for Jordan to be emailing you personally from him, not from the AI com, from him personally, right? After you go ahead and log in, this is the checklist you're going to go ahead and see. Choose your store niche, choose banners for your homepage, create your Shopify account. You're going to link to your Shopify store. They're going to give you a discount. Build Your Store app is going to be installed. Make your store unique, obviously. Add top selling products, and then your store is live. At the end, they're going to let you take the actual course after you've done all of this, because you've already sunk so much time into it. You need to watch the course after that. And the course will actually sell you on upselling. Now, really interesting thing that they did right here, which I did not cover, is that they will actually upsell you when you ask to pick your store type, right? So they will upsell you from $0 to $100. And again, he is getting an affiliate commission out of this. Jordan is getting an affiliate commission out of this. So the 10-15% of people that actually upsell will make Jordan a good 30-40% of this money right here. So $30-40 per person, which is enough for a low ticket community, basically. So after you go ahead and, I guess, pick a free beginner or professional one product, I love this actual page. A little bit of visual salience with this border right here, a one-time offer, building a little bit of urgency. Again, all these green ticks over here, and then the red X's over here. A lot of people make this a different color. Red and green are always going to work the best because that's just what your body reacts to. Now, after this, what he's actually going to do is that he's going to go ahead and get you to walk through all of these. Now, after you've walked through all of these and you take the course, he is probably going to start upselling you later. This is probably a play for him to make a ton of bank right now, obviously, but also to get a ton of people into his email list, after which he can upsell them into his own later info offer. That's the kind of speculation that we're going off of right now for this kind of offer. And obviously, this is going to be updated soon. This is only speculation, but that's what I'm thinking from everything that Jordan is doing right now, because first of all, he's making a ton of bank off of this because of the affiliate commission. This is how he's making a ton of money. Affiliate commissions. A lot of people undermine this, but when you're at a high level like Jordan, affiliate commissions can make up to 50% of how much money you actually make. So affiliate commissions are a huge chunk of your money. But anyways, that was Jordan Welch's sales funnel broken down into the nitty gritty. I actually accidentally wrote 596K here. I meant to actually write 296K here. My bad for you guys who weren't able to watch through this, but it's actually 296K according to my own estimates. But anyways, if you got a ton of value from that video, I'm glad. And if you have any video ideas, go ahead and feel free to leave them down in the comments. I actually read all my comments. So your video idea might be the next one I actually make a video about. If you have any ideas to improve the content, obviously go ahead and DM me, ask me any questions. My Instagram is linked down below and also in my bio on YouTube. And lastly, if you're interested in working with me, go ahead and check the first or second link down below. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram. We can go and talk on the text messages. I'm not going to try to sell you or anything like that. I'm just going to be talking to you like a normal human being in the DMs, talking to you and seeing if I can even help you first. Then we can maybe hop on a call, give you a ton of value. Go ahead and feel free to check the link down below. Leave a comment for video ideas. Anyways, if you don't want to do any of that and you just want to watch another one of my videos, go ahead and check this one out right here because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. If you want to watch the whole funnel breakdowns playlist with upwards of $300,000 worth of sauce just in this one playlist, go ahead and check it out right here. And if you want to leave a like and subscribe, which I would appreciate, go ahead and check this button right here. Hoping to see you in this next video. Goodbye.